Hey, g'day guys, Matt here. This is tutorial number 13 where we're going to be looking at the new investment property tab. So we left off last time from the monthly date night and I had some requests for this investment property tab. So it took me about a week or so to put it together and get all the logic right. This is the dashboard from Bruce and Betty where we left off last time. And if you scroll down to the bottom, I've just added a new section on the bottom for investment property performance. We've got year to date, and then that cell will fill in. And then we've got 5 investment property rows to fill in. So I took an average of 5. A lot of people just have 1 or 2. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to delete the investment properties so that you can just focus on your ones. So I'll just move to the investment property tab now. So here we can see the investment properties numbered 1 through to 5. I've put them in vertically and the reason why I did that is so that we can easily insert new ones if we need to, or we can easily delete them if we need to as well. But I'm going to show you that in a future tutorial. Today what we're going to focus on is completing this tab and then populating the dashboard. So what have we got on this tab? We've got our property value. That helps us work out the yield that we're going to be earning. That's down at the bottom. And then the start of the year loan amount, just so we focus, so we know what we've got left to pay on the mortgage. The interest, again, so we understand what we've got on the mortgage and we can renegotiate on a yearly basis. The tenancy bond value, just as a bit of a record keeping, and then the date the tenancy commenced. Then we've got our 12 months down the side, and then for each month we've got a category to fill out for loan, mortgage payment, the rental income and the expenditure. So I did it month on month just in case the mortgage payments change or the rental income changes, maybe there's no tenant in for that month, or here's for your expenditure. So if you need to give the tenancy a lick of paint or do some gardening outside, you can put that in each month and keep a record of the amount of your tenancy. So let's commence filling it in. So we're just going to fill in column 1 on this go. So property value, we look at, let's call it 200,000, and I'll do it incrementally. 200, 1, 2, 3. I'll do it incrementally higher and higher so you can see how the spreadsheet works as we start getting into negative gearing. Start of the year loan amount, let's call that 250, 1, 2, 3. Interest 3.25, bond value 2,000. Just going to flick that back to accounting, 2,000. And then the date the tenancy commenced. So let's call this 1st of July 19. Okay, for the loan mortgage payment, we'll call that, say, 500 a month. And for our rental income, we'll say we're including 800 a month on that one. And we've got an expenditure of 50 bucks. So you can see now we're in the green on our profit and loss for that month. I'm going to copy these down. I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then I'm going to show you what happens at the bottom. So each month you will be putting in these separately as cells. I'm just doing this quickly just to make the totals work at the bottom of the spreadsheet. Then November and then December. So you can see now we've got our year to date. So we've got our year to date mortgage. We've got a total mortgage paid 6,000, and we've got total rental income of 9,000. That's obviously going to fluctuate month on month. Expenditure, we've expended $600 this month. So our total profit and loss is 3,000, and our yield is 4.8%. So we've got the yield is the amount divided by the value of the property gives us our yield. So that's just a basic indicator of how well the property is performing. Finally, down the side, you can put some comments in. So let's say for investment property 1 on January, we had to expend a little bit more than 50 bucks. So we said new paint job. Yep. And we can give that a reference. We can give that a reference of IP1. And we'll say that that was $200. So you can see that's gone down to $100 now. And then maybe the next month, investment property 1, we'll call that new landscaping. New landscaping. And we'll call that, let's say that was $400. So you can see there we've got into the negative for that month. So we've got a minus figure. So that will then have calculated down here. And we'll have gone down to 2,500 on that month. So that's basically it. That's how you fill the spreadsheet in. We're up to 6 minutes, so I'm going to take a pause now. See you on the next video. Good day guys, Matt here with tutorial number 14. This is the investment property tab part 2. I'm going to put a further data into the investment property and then show you how linked to the dashboard. So let's have a look at the dashboard now. We filled in investment property 1 last time and then we've got the totals down here. So if we look at that on the dashboard, we can see that we've got our columns have jumped in for what the mortgage is, what the income, so the income is above the mortgage, which is excellent, and the expenditure is quite low. Then we've got our totals that run through here, so 6,000, 9,600, and then our expenses for the year, and our total profit and loss is 2,000. We've only got one investment property in at the moment, so you can see that's why that's just 2,000, and we've got our average yield across our portfolio of 4.8%. So just going to add another one in now. So let's look, say if investment property 2 is quite substantially high. So let's say we've got a 750,000 mortgage on this one. I'll start with we'll call that $500,000, 3.5, and then we'll leave the bond the same. Starting month, I'll just shift it on a month. Okay, so we're going to be paying quite a bit more on the mortgage payment for this one, so let's call that $1,000. And let's say we are only accruing 800 on this one. So you see there we're losing $200 a month. So this property is negatively geared. I'll put 50 in. So if I fill the rest of the columns in now, I'm just going to copy this down to show you what it does. So we're losing $250 a month. September, October, November, December. So you can see we've added all of those up now, and the yield on this property is only 1.28%. So I'm saying that anything under 2.5% is in the red, and we need to look at some actions on that. We are looking at our portfolio. So mortgage property 1, we're earning 2,500, but we're losing 3,000 on property number 2. So we're making a loss of 500. So if we go back to the dashboard, we'll see property 2 jump in. There she goes. So we can see that the mortgage is higher than the income. Expenditure total is still quite low, and we're in the red on this one. So you might want to negatively gear your properties for tax purposes. So this is just an indicator about where you lie. And then I'll put investment property number 3 in. Let's call this 500,000. We'll call that a loan of 200,000. So I'll do this on the positive side, this one. I'll call that 3.75%. And I'm just going to copy those across. So let's say we a loan payment of 750 this time, and we are getting a monthly income of 1,500 on this property. With expenditure, let's say 150 on this one. So that's 600 a month we're earning on this property. Again, I'm just going to copy them down. You're going to fill these on your date night, and then put any commentary to the side about where you might be putting your expenses, just for your end of year taxes. So we've added them all down, so all the numbers have totaled now at the bottom. This has got a yield of 3.6%, and we're back in the green there for our profit and loss. I'm just gonna bump this up a little bit so I can show you what happens. So let's say for a few months we're getting $2,000 on this property. So I just want to show you what happens if we're getting a healthy margin. Knock that down to 400. So we can see now that this property yield of 5.88% has got into the green. We're saying we got a total profit and loss of 12,700 on the positive. Our portfolio is 12,200. So now we've got one that's performing in the mid-range, one that's underperforming. You might want that to underperform to negative gear. And one is performing in the higher range of 5.88%. Click back to the dashboard and you can see the third one has jumped in there. So that's basically how you build up your portfolio. I'll give you 5 slots to put in. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add additional slots or how to delete the slots, so you can just get back to something where you don't have all this data in. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you next time.